My question is, the four main schools of jurisprudence, the founders, there's Maliki, Shafi, Hanbali, Hanifi, all say that if someone openly admits that they no longer are a Muslim, they should be killed. Now, in a modern caliphate, would that be an acceptable position? Has that position already been reformed, or does Islam need reforming?
As you can see, I explicitly asked a question about punishment for someone who openly admits that they're no longer a Muslim. But watch how Lauren changes my question before she'll even allow it to go to the panel, to give them the opportunity to answer in a more kind of sugar-coated way.
Okay, thank you very much. Wait, I'm just going to summarise that before you come back. Sorry, sir. I think we want to keep it here rather than in the UK. I just want these last few questions to remain about life in the UK rather than in a fantasy caliphate.
I mean, the question that was asked, I think, basically boils down to the fact, should Muslims be free to apostatise without penalty? What is, you know, and I'd be interested to know what the opinion of the Muslims on this panel was on that.
And now watch again how Lauren changes my question to one not about Islamic principles themselves, but about Islam specifically crippled by British law.
So I think actually putting it in the context about the reformation of Islam, if we live in living in Britain, do the rules about apostasy apply, and do they need changing so that people can become secular liberalists or live a life different? No, Abdullah, please.
I've talked with Abdullah Andalusi about this before, and I know that he avoids giving the honest answer. The honest answer is, if you openly admit that you're no longer a Muslim, then you should be killed. It's the four main laws of schools of jurisprudence all agree on this. You won't get him to admit it though, and two of the tricks he does. One of them, he changes the question so that it becomes an issue of thought crime, that no one can possibly know what's going on in your head, so you can't ever be punished for it. Or he says that the word apostasy, which I deliberately avoided, is actually a translation error for treason.
The old chestnut of apostasy always brought up, and I've always said the same thing, and I'll say it again, which is there's no law that creates an inquisition court in a caliphate or in the UK that will check everyone's beliefs and see if they've left Islam or not. All right. However, the laws that do exist are not really translated as apostasy. Irtidad, to renege or being a renegade, basically, is a law against sedition and treason, not against just someone who just changes their mind in their own head and that's it. And no one's going to basically investigate or find out who's left or what have you.
Watch how Lauren again changes my question before presenting it to the panel.
Well, please do bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about apostasy. Is it relevant in the United Kingdom?
No, we're not.
To have these tracts,
No,
is it observable
and I said there is
anyway?
I said there's no law that can be translated into English as apostasy laws in Islam. That's what my point.
No, you had a question. No, you had a question. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I have asked him twice. I will take another question. Thank you.
But this exclusivist truth claim, I think, is what's contributing to this idea of, you know, apostasy, which was neatly dodged, and this idea of the jizya as well. So how much do you think it's something to do with that?
Middle centre.
There's been a lot of obscuring and obscurantism on the part of particularly Abdullah Andalusi when it comes to the matter of apostasy.
Guys, I've been arguing against the BNP, Britain First, EDL type people for years. Whenever a Muslim says something, they say they're practicing taqiyya or kitman, and I've explained to them the historical context of what taqiyya actually is, and it's about preserving your life if you're a Shia by pretending you're a Sunni. The problem is you guys are just being outright dishonest. You're sugarcoating the true tenets of Islam in order to make it more palatable to people who don't know anything about it. And when you combine deliberate lying with your theology, there's no surprise that people are giving it a theological name. They're calling it taqiyya because you are lying for Islam. You are making taqiyya a real thing.